Welcome back to EtherLink AI Insights, everyone. I'm Alex, and today we're talking about something that sounds almost like science fiction, an AI leadership retreat in Finnish Lapland. Sam, when I first heard about this, I thought it was a joke. An Arctic Circle corporate offsite? But there's actually some serious strategy behind it.
Right, and that's exactly the misconception we need to unpack. This isn't a wellness retreat with Northern Lights and Saunas, though those are probably nice bonuses. The real story is about why immersive environments actually rewire how executives think about AI adoption. The data here is compelling.
Okay, I'm listening. What data are we talking about?
Mackenzie reported that 55% of organizations have integrated AI into at least one business function, but only 24% are seeing measurable productivity gains. That's a massive gap. The problem isn't the technology, it's that leaders don't actually understand how to think about AI agents, prompt engineering, or governance. They've never built anything. They've just sat through PowerPoints.
So the retreat is saying, stop listening to consultants explain AI and actually build something yourself. That makes sense. But why Lapland specifically? Why not Palo Valley or somewhere in Silicon Valley?
That's where the neuroscience gets interesting. The midnight sun literally disrupts your circadian rhythms. It breaks the mental habits and patterns you bring from your normal environment. Your cognitive load decreases in nature, so your brain has bandwidth for actual learning. And there's peer accountability in small groups that just doesn't happen on Zoom.
You're saying the Arctic is basically a cognitive reset button?
Exactly. Research from the Center for Transformative Change shows that immersive natural environments increase learning retention by 67%. But you have to couple that with the right curriculum, which brings us to the actual retreat model.
Let's break down what the 7 days actually look like, because I think that's where the real value lives.
Days 1 and 2 are foundational. You move past ChatGPT and learn about agentic systems, how AI agents actually make decisions, handle multi-step workflows, reason across different types of data. It's the difference between understanding an AI tool and understanding how to architect with AI.
And then what?
Days 3 and 4, each participant builds their first custom AI agent. Not theoretical exercises, something real, tailored to an actual bottleneck in their organization. So a supply chain director builds an agent that forecasts inventory problems. A CMO builds something that personalizes customer engagement at scale. You're not learning about AI, you're solving your company's problem with AI.
That's hands-on in a way that no typical executive program is. What happens in the middle of the retreat?
Days 5 and 6 focus on what they call the golden prompt stack. Basically, you're reverse engineering the prompts and context flows that actually made your agent work. This is critical, because most executives never learn why a prompt works. They just copy-paste templates. Here, you're forced to understand the architecture.
So by day 7, these leaders have actually built something, understood how it works, and, I'm guessing, they have a plan to take it back to their companies.
Exactly. Day 7 is the 90-day implementation blueprint. You map out how to scale what you learned into your organization with accountability structures and measurable milestones. It's not, here's an inspirational talk, good luck. It's, here's how you get this into production in the next quarter.
I want to talk about something that stood out to me in the material, the EU AI Act compliance angle. Most U.S. AI programs ignore regulation entirely, but this retreat bakes it in from day 1. Why does that matter?
Because companies that don't plan for regulation from the start have to retrofit their agents later, which is expensive and often means scaling them back. The leaders going through AetherTravel learn to design AI systems that are both capable and compliant. That's actually a competitive advantage if you're operating in Europe or selling to European customers.
It's future-proofing the AI strategy from day 1.
Right. And here's the thing. The World Economic Forum's 2024 Future of Jobs report says 64% of enterprises are planning to upskill their leaders on AI frameworks within 18 months, but most of them will do it through webinars and certifications. This retreat is the alternative for organizations that are serious about actually embedding AI into their culture.
Let me ask the practical question. Who's this for? Is this a nice-to-have luxury retreat, or is it something enterprises genuinely need?
It's for organizations that have already tried the typical approach and realized it didn't stick. Leaders went to conferences, got excited, came back, and nothing changed. Or they bought an AI tool, nobody used it right, and it died. This retreat targets that specific frustration. It's for leaders ready to actually change how they think about technology.
So the cohort size matters. I saw it's capped at 8 people.
Absolutely. 8 people is the sweet spot for accountability without losing personalization. You get your dedicated AI mentor, an actual AI system powered by EtherLink's proprietary infrastructure. But you're also learning alongside 7 other leaders who are solving different problems. That peer cross-pollination is huge.
What does a typical day actually look like? Are people in cabins? Are they in some fancy resort?
The model balances intensive cognitive work with forest walks and breaks. The walks aren't vacation time. They're when your brain actually consolidates what you just learned. You step away from the screens, your prefrontal cortex gets a chance to process, and then you come back with new insights. It's cognitive architecture, not tourism.
I'm curious about the outcomes. If you're an enterprise sending your CTO or chief digital officer to this thing, what should they expect to bring back to their organization?
3 concrete things. First, a working AI agent they built themselves, tailored to a real business problem. Second, the mental model and skills to oversee AI development without being dependent on a consultant explaining everything. And third, a 90-day roadmap with specific milestones and accountability measures. That's not vague. That's measurable.
So it's transformation, but it's also accountability. You can't go back and say, we had a retreat and nothing changed, because you have a blueprint.
Exactly. And because it's cohort-based, you're also building a peer network of other leaders going through the same struggle. That network extends beyond the 7 days. You're checking in on each other's implementations, sharing lessons learned. It's community-based transformation.
Let me ask the skeptical question. Isn't 7 days in Finland expensive? How do you justify that to a board?
If your alternative is failing at AI adoption like most companies are, it's actually cheap. The Mackenzie data suggests most AI implementations don't deliver ROI because leadership doesn't understand how to govern and scale them. One senior executive making better AI decisions for the next 5 years pays for this retreat 10 times over.
Fair point. Okay, let me summarize what I'm hearing. This isn't a wellness retreat. It's a cognitive reset combined with hands-on skill development in an environment specifically designed to break old mental habits. Leaders come out with working AI agents, a governance framework, and a measurable 90-day plan, all while being in a cohort with other executives who become accountability partners.
And they learn it in a compliance-first context, so they're not building systems that will need to be torn down because of regulatory issues. It's the full package for enterprises that are serious about becoming AI native.
This is really compelling, especially for organizations that have stalled on AI adoption. If you want to dive deeper into the full program, the exact curriculum, pricing, how to apply, head over to etherlink.ai and find the complete article. You'll get all the details there.
And if you're on the fence about whether immersive learning is worth it, the research backing this approach is solid. This isn't guesswork, it's neuroscience applied to executive transformation.
Thanks for diving deep with me today, Sam. And thanks to everyone listening. We'll catch you on the next episode of EtherLink AI Insights. Keep building.
Thanks, Alex. Great conversation.